we always talk about harmony. I don't think it's a worthwhile pursuit to try to balance things out. Like, I put work on the scale, it went down. Now I got to put some life home on the scale and even it out constantly over and over again. And it's like looking at the other side of the scale and be like, oh my God, I wish I had that much over here, and going back and forth. We've always looked at it as harmony. Is like there's a lot of different things at play all the time, and nothing has to get a specific amount at any one time or another. It's
Hmm.
like you want to utilize all of them. So a lot of the times when I see this, I see like a music room at a college or a high school that like all the instruments are lined up, right? They're all sitting there waiting for the musicians to come in and grab them. And the way I've looked at this last year is all I've really had the opportunity to do is pick up the drumsticks. All those other instruments are sitting there like, hey man, you gonna play me or what?
Yeah.
Like what's going on? And they're just sitting there and it's like drums, 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 drums. And it's like, oh my gosh, are you ever gonna play the saxophone? Like,
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. You're pretty good at playing it.
That's such a great analogy, because I would say I've been in the brass section the whole year. I just feel like the trumpets have been going. I feel like it's been very loud because there's been a lot of moving pieces. I've not had as many moments where the flutes are playing and the violins are really leading the melody. It's been more the brass section pounding away like the grind. Maybe that's what we're really seeking, is the ebb and flow of that harmony. Is you're never going to have the violins and the flutes and the brass all coming together, because that's hard to do in life. That's hard to bring all of them together. But I don't think it's impossible.
It hasn't been hard for me. It's hard in the fact that I had to really pay the attention to it. And then once I paid the attention to it, give the effort into it. That part is hard, but it's been very simple. I know all the instruments I have, I know how to play them, and I pick them up regularly to stay in practice. The course of this year, I have not done that. I have not. And so it's the opposite. This has been harder to stay extremely disciplined and focused on what the task at hand is this year and neglecting all the other things. We have a chapter of our book, Productive Neglect. Yes. Is it productive? Sure. Productive neglect isn't necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing. Right.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is a principle that's going to allow you to have success. It doesn't mean this is a principle that's going to allow you to have happiness or joy. It's success. That's what productive neglect is about. And the idea here is that it starts to not feel really good. And
Mhm.
it's like, wow, there's a lot missing and there's
Yep.
craving starts to happen. And the worst part about it for me has been as I start to reflect, which I haven't done every year, I write a big long thing about all the events and the times. And as I prepare to do that, I'm like, what am I going to write down? Now, I may find out as I'm thinking it through and looking through the pictures and going through the text messages, there's a lot more, but there's an anxiety inside of me that I've led an unfulfilled year compared to what my normal fulfilled year would look like.
I love that you reflect on that. I think that's something a lot of people should do, is just reflect on the year and see everything that you've done. What experiences have you had? What have you learned from those experiences? And what do you want to do differently in the coming year? And that's what the whole point of this is. I mean, there's so much that I want to do differently. It's funny. I was walking the dog this morning and I was like, some things have got to change, man. You got to do some of these things differently. Like I was talking to myself, trying to pep myself up for like, okay, this has got to be laser focused. There's no excuses. There's no like, just do the thing. You got to focus. And when you're in those individual places, focus there. Keep your attention there. Like I was literally having a pep talk with myself because I've been reflecting on this year and the progress and the successes and all the failures. And I say that reflection is such an important part of gaining momentum for the next year. People would think reflection is a slowing down, but I always see reflection as the opportunity to pick up momentum again. When you look back and you see what you've accomplished, you see what you've done, it re-energizes you in a lot of ways, and that gives you the fuel to start the momentum again in going forward. I think reflection is such an important part of the momentum process, but so many people don't take the time to do that, and I think you have to.
If I were to look now in this moment, there's a lot of new aspects of my daily activities that I've put in this year, but almost exclusively business wise. I gave myself a project this year, which was break a sweat every day. I didn't adhere to it the way I wanted to, but I definitely did more with my fitness this year than I ever did previously. But it came, you know how much I hate this word, it came very easy to me. And my projects are always personal, but all my personal stuff dovetails over to my revenue generation and businesses and, entrepreneurship. But this year, there wasn't much of that. There wasn't much like, all right, I'm going to challenge myself with a project throughout the year or pay attention very intensely to a specific thing on a daily basis or at least a weekly basis. So I didn't do that this year either. It's been a very strange year, man.